Hello everybody, Trano here, and welcome back to the Kings of Battle dev server. And today we're going to be taking a look at this rather unusual Soviet tank destroyer, the Object 775, which is coming in at rank 6, battle rating 9.3, between the Sturm S and the Chrysanthema S in the tank destroyer line. And as you can see, it is a very unusual looking tank. I mean, this looks like somebody's taken a picture of a regular tank and stretched the image out, as opposed to the Swedish STRV-74, where someone's taken a regular looking tank and squished the image in. But this is basically armed with the 125mm D126 gun launcher. And if we look at the weapon itself, it's got a reload rate of 6 seconds because it's got an auto-loader. It's got a vertical guidance of -5 to +18 degrees, a horizontal targeting speed of 12 degrees a second, and a vertical targeting speed of 3.4 degrees a second, and it's got a 2-plane gun stabilizer, so this will be a pretty stable gun platform, and it will be able to fire pretty quickly. And while the targeting speed is a little bit low, if you're shooting from long range, that won't matter as much. So its main weapon is the Rubin anti-tank guided missile. So it's got SAC-LOS guidance, it's got a max speed of 550 meters a second, a launch range of 5 kilometers, a missile guidance time of 10 seconds, and a max penetration of 500mm. So a pretty effective anti-tank weapon. You can also fire the Burr HE shell, or looks more like a missile in many ways, but that only has a max penetration of 37mm. Good against soft-skin vehicles and maybe some more lightly armoured vehicles, but again, you're not really going to be relying on that for the majority of your anti-tank work. You do also have a 7.62mm machine gun to the right of the gun, though it's counted as a cannon breach at the moment. I'm sure that'll be changed when the update comes out. And if we look at the optics, you can see the gunner's got an optics of 4x zoom to 10x zoom, with an FOV of 18 degrees to -7, and commander optics of 4x zoom to 10x zoom. Unfortunately, we can't unlock anything else for the armament, so there's no like thermal vision or night vision devices that can be used. There's no smoke generating system, unfortunately. There is a dozer blade if you wanted to try and dig this thing in, although it's already a pretty short tank, so I'm not sure you're going to be needing to do that particularly. And if we look at the armour, it's got a very strong upper hull front plate. So it's 90mm, but it's high hardness rolled armour, which I believe has a 1.2 multiplier in-game. So that's more like 106mm. And again, it's very well sloped. The lower hull front plate is only 100mm of RHA armour, while the turret is cast homogeneous armour but is variable thickness. So if we go to protection analysis and just compare this to the German Leopard 1A5, if we can find it, and if we use its standard DM12 HeatFS shell, in theory the turret is the area that's easiest to penetrate, but some of these areas are, not the easiest bits to hit. But especially on the right side of the turret, that seems to be quite a weak spot. And that's sort of where the coaxial machine gun is. So probably a bit of a mistake to add that on this vehicle. And in theory, you could hit the cupola, but it is a bit of a hard target to hit. And if you look at Hess shell, again, very hard to penetrate with the Hess shell. But again, to the right of the turret, you can, in theory, penetrate there. The DM23 APFS DS round, again, might have some trouble around the turret, but you can definitely penetrate that lower hull front plate. And then if you look at the DM33 improved APFS DS round, yeah, you could definitely see the lower hull front plate is going to be the easiest way to penetrate and do damage to this vehicle, with improved rounds making the turret more vulnerable and the upper hull front plate just not really being a good area to hit in general. There is also composite armour behind the hull plates at the front here, and if you do hit at the front here, you can ammo rack the vehicle, so yeah, you're definitely going to be wanting to aim for the lower hull front plate. If we look at the speed of the vehicle, it's got a 513 horsepower engine, and that gives it a top speed when going forward of 40 miles per hour on 7 gears, but in reverse you've only got a top speed of 2.8 miles per hour on 1 gear, so decently well for getting around the battlefield, but absolutely awful for reversing out of dangerous situations. And if we move to the crew, there are only 2 crew, and they're both situated within the turret. So you've got driver here on the right side of the turret, and you've got your commander here on the left side of the turret, and they control the main armament. So this is a bit of a mixed bag, because of course they're in the very heavily protected turret, but if they take even a slight bit of damage, it will affect their performance. And of course, if you lose one of those crew, you lose the entire vehicle. So very well protected, but if you are penetrated, things will go bad very quickly. Unfortunately, I can't test drive it because I'm just not that far down the Soviet tech tree, but I could see this being very popular as a meme vehicle, and it is a very short vehicle, so this will be very good at concealing itself from enemies and attacking them from long ranges. And yeah, I think this will be a decent vehicle for the Soviet tech tree, and yeah, it's good to see something like this being brought in. So anyway, just a quick video for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you'll join me for the next video on the Kings of Battle dev server. I've been Tyranno, and I'll see you next time.